Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Once again, Cap Social Network, aka Capri Social Network. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about and give my perspective as well as my 2 cents on how, when it comes to picking biological dads for their children, usually Black American women usually suck at it. Period, point blank. However, and on the other hand, when it comes to usually picking stepdaddies for their kids, though, now they are successful at that. In most cases, extremely successful. Because, fellas, how many times, and it's for all of my prominent fellas, all of you men, Black men that may happen to be making upwards to 100,000 a year and more than that, a little bit over that. Although the average Black man, according to both data and statistics, usually makes no more than 50 grand a year in the US, the average hard-working citizen, Black male citizen, US citizen, usually makes on average no more than 50 grand a year, with the exception to some of you college educated brothers that may have also throughout college partaking in being part of a fraternity and still may be part of a fraternity. Anyway, fellas, how many times have you happened to meet a woman, and this is on behalf of my fellas that are not any gang bangers, just regular working class guys, that's according to some Black women's standards of today, most modern Black women's standards, the ones that go for the toxic and dysfunctional guys may consider you as either a square or a lame. But anyway, brothers, how many times have you may happen to meet a woman and everything from the very time you may approach the woman, although very few guys usually approach women nowadays in person, well, physically, but how many times have you usually approach what you may like still or believe in doing it the traditional way by approaching a woman in public or online? Which more you believe in doing? How many times have you done either or, only to arrange to go out on a date with her after having a very good and meaningful conversation with that woman, only for her to tell you about, and a woman with kids, if you may be a guy without kids of your very own, because there are very few women that's older than 18 to find without kids nowadays. Let's be honest and let's call a spade a spade. But how many times, fellas, have you happen to meet a woman and the conversation, and both the conversation and chemistry having to be just excellent, not only to find out that she has either a kid or in most cases kids by a man, either whether it may be either the same man or in most cases multiple men or different men, only for her to tell you stories, fellas, about how toxic her child's either father or fathers may be. And it's easy to read between the lines, fellas. For instance, she may have told you that he had his driver's license either revoked or suspended a few times due to him not paying child support. It may be another case, or had been another case, where she may have came out and said his car was impounded for instance, selling weed. Excuse me, because I'm kind of under the weather. If not that, he may have happened to gotten put in jail due to him and being involved in fights, physical fights with other guys, things of that nature. And most of the time, it's women usually choose from either one of these guys. A lot of modern day Black women, and I would say for the most part between the ages of usually 17, as young as 17, to around the 30 to 40-year-old age bracket. And even a few older than that, to be honest. But he's usually either a womanizer that goes from impregnating woman after woman, either that or fornicating with woman after woman. He's usually abusive, either verbally, mentally, or mentally abusive. In some cases, both. If not, that he's usually a drug addict. It uses either weed, because for all you people that may not think weed is a drug, it is in some shape or form. Otherwise, why would people still get busted for possession of it? If not that, he's usually indulging in much more heavier drugs, such as meth, heroin, drugs of that nature, and will go as far as burglarizing people's houses just so he can be able to sell enough items out of people's houses, enough furniture to be able to afford to support his drug habit that much more. If not that, he's usually a stone alcoholic who also engages in being outside of either grocery stores or gas stations by panhandling people to support either using his alcoholic habit or his bad drug habit. If not that, he's usually a gang banging that's part of some set, a Crip, Vice Lord, on and on, who may have went as far in the past as murdering people and may have done some jail time as a result of it. If not that, he may have partaken in, what else could I say, scamming people, running scams and cons on people. For instance, Ponzi schemes on people, and may have done jail time because of that. These are just a few examples of how these are some of the main people, some of the main guys, let me rephrase that the average modern day black woman between those age ranges usually goes for and has kids by, in most cases, instead of a guy that would make a very good husband and provider. It's like they usually wait until they're used up, their sexual value decreases. Then that's when they usually want to raise their standards. Instead of raising their standards before they may have kids by men, they usually wait until they may have been done wrongfully by these toxic men, that they usually go for these toxic, dysfunctional men. In some cases, they can't even rub, quote unquote, two nickels together, both figuratively speaking and literally speaking. Men that are just down on their level. Some men that don't even have their own vehicles, but instead what may go around driving the woman's vehicles, usually while she's at work. And most of the time it's usually at home, smoking weed, chilling with his homeboys, playing cards for money, playing video games for money. Not only that, but may ride different women, other women around in her car while she's at work. And usually he may have an excuse to use a car. One of his excuses may be that he wants to go apply for jobs, especially if he's an unemployed guy. In some cases, they usually are while the woman is usually working. And women, some of the most beautiful women, some of the most beautiful drop-dead women out there, drop-dead gorgeous women out there, women with high-paying careers that could be something such as an RN, or could be a female attorney, a judge. Women of that caliber still, in some cases, go for some of the most bottom-of-the-barrel brothers, some of the most bottom-of-the-barrel black men. However, once they get done wrongfully by the bad boy, either cheated on or abused, in some cases both, then that's when they usually want the upstanding, decent brother, the one that will make some of the best husbands and be the main providers in a household. The best, the main guys that will make not only very great husbands, but very great fathers. Only for those guys to usually have to settle for women with kids already, especially if he may be a guy without kids of his very own. These are some prime examples, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really specifically referring to my fellas, all my fellas that are either in relationships with women with kids already, that who don't happen to have kids their own or may have partaken in dating women in the past with kids already from you might as well say a ready-made family or a pre-made family. Because, and if I didn't say this earlier, I may have did it, I've forgotten, and forgive me if, in case I may have stated it early in the video but forgot. Anyway, in case I did it, I'm going to state this: the average man without kids, and judging from my perspective, doesn't want to be bothered when a woman with kids already from a ready-made family, especially when it comes to marriage. Now, most men, true enough, may look at women with kids already, if he doesn't have any kids, as recreational use, so to speak. But as far as having one to settle down with, unless he just may not, for instance, be able to have kids of his very own, or if not that, he may be able to have kids of his very own, but may happen to just like kids that much. Anyway, guys such as Russell Wilson are a prime example of a guy who took on a woman after not having kids of his very own, still took on the responsibility of taking care of Future's kids, rapper Future's kids. Somebody who is known to be a dusty Negro is what I would consider him as, both a toxic, dysfunctional, and dusty Negro. One of the main examples of the kind of guys lots of Black American women, especially more younger Black American women, usually settle for and have kids by. And to be honest, guys, most women who usually settle for those type of guys to have kids by usually have an ulterior motive, and their ulterior motives is usually not only on behalf of child support, especially the women that go for the guys that may have where the women that may have kids by multiple guys. Most of them, for instance, if one guy, she may have two baby daddies. One baby daddy may be a sanitation worker that she may have broken up with. So she's pimping him by taking and getting some of his child support money. Then the other one may be a guy who may happen to have his own car wash. I just use that as an example. She's also pimping him as well. And to be honest, most women, when most of the kids look at that as a come up in a financial game, to be able to get multiple sources of income from multiple men, as opposed to marrying a man that she could be able to, whose inheritance she could live off of. If in the worst case scenario, he may end up dying before her. In other words, if he may have worked a job for around 20 years or a little bit over 20 years, once he were to die, she could partake in getting his pension, inheriting his pension plan from X amount of years he may have invested in being on the same job. Also, his employer may have offered a stock purchase plan. She would be able to inherit that as well as another fortune. Also, his life insurance, and on and on. Anyway, I'm going to end this video because I have already said a mouthful before I end the video. And for all you people that may have been following my channel for quite a while, including the ones that may have followed my channel from the very beginning, when I had barely even 20 subscribers, make sure you once again like the video, you comment on it, you share it, and subscribe to the channel, and follow my newbies. In other words, my people that may have just found out about my channel. Make sure you like the video, you share it, you comment on it, and last but not least, subscribe. And when you do subscribe to all my new followers, brand new followers, make sure, okay, you'll have a choice to pick to get notified of no videos at all, either no videos at all, personalized videos, upcoming videos, or all. Make sure you click to be notified of all upcoming videos. So until next time, you guys take care and have a good one.